So be careful when you see some of those dating apps. You'll see things on Facebook telling you that Mr. Right is here under whatever app's name that they have, find certain kind of love or whatever those may be. And they start to reel you in and to get the information. And then you start sending pictures. And then you start telling them where you live as far as the state. And they'll tell you that they don't live too far from you or they used to live in that state. Or they'll come up with a name of a place that you may have mentioned already on your Facebook. But let me tell you, they have been watching you for a while. They have been doing their homework. They've been getting relatives' names. When they go on your social media platform, they see who you are connected with. They do all sorts of things. So we're going to talk about social media, which is famous for scams. Social media scams, they can take many forms, including fake giveaways. I know you guys seen them because I've seen them a lot too. They're giving this away, a trip to here, just send $10, or you've won, send them this amount of money, or for the processing fee to send you that gift that's worth over $500. Phishing attempts, which I mentioned earlier, and those romance scams. Again, they're on Facebook, they're on IG, I guess Instagram, they're on X, they're on just every platform you can think of because you're on there. You're on there, but you're being genuine. You're speaking to your friends and your family, and you're sharing pictures. You're saying where you've been. You've been to the movies. You've been out on outings. You're getting ready to take a vacation. So there's where you go right there. That's where it starts. You're telling them where you're going. You're telling them who you're going with. You're telling them more information than you should. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't share certain things on social media, but be mindful. One of the things that I have seen on social media is that impersonation of scams. Sometimes I'll say me, I'll use me for instance. I can have people on there that I know, and then somebody will want to be my friend on social media. So they'll, what is that, catfish somebody else and be their friend. So now if I look at them, we have one mutual friend, and that's that person. But what it is that we both have that mutual friend and they're doing the same thing to both of us. They're trying to get that information. So if I see that that person has less than a certain amount of friends, I'm sorry. I'm not going to befriend you. So please don't befriend me if you don't have a certain amount of friends, because 10 friends, that means those are probably 10 people that you scam. Some people may say that you just started coming on social media. Come on now. It's 2025 and you're just coming on social media. Or maybe I had to get rid of that page because somebody hacked into it. I believe me, at this point right now, I've heard just about everything there is, and I've been doing a lot of homework trying to figure out ways that I won't be scammed again and ways that you won't be scammed. So, impersonation is one. They go into your DMs, they get your information, you post pictures about your parents and your family and your connections with cousins and places that you work and things that you do to. And guess what's on that car? Your license plate number. So now, if they're that good, they can figure out where you live. It's already telling you what state you're in. So now they're going to figure out where you live. You put a lot of information on there, your date of birth, which we all do. We celebrate each other. We say happy birthday to each other, but there's still more information. I'm not telling you not to share when your birthday is, but you don't have to put the year. Some people even lie about it and say that they were born 1 month and they really wasn't. Just because of things like that for scams. All of which aim to trick users into sharing personal information or money. Again, you want a prize. Just pay the shipping. Come on now. Pay the shipping and they're going to send you something. So the shipping could be $4 and they're telling you that you've won a prize for $500. Who do you know that's going to give away something worth $500 just to collect $4? Red flag. That's a scam. It's unrealistic prizes. They have poor grammar And I don't mean to call nobody out their name, but these are idiots. Or either I know I was at the time, and I'm going to be the first to admit it. Because I was scammed, I call myself an idiot, or either a fool or somebody who just didn't know. But I'm not calling you an idiot, or what I'm doing is I'm trying to give you some information so this won't happen to you. So look for that poor grammar or spelling in the post that doesn't even make sense. Like, what? What are they talking about? What do they mean? Oh, it was the typo. In my case, I say, oh, my nail, so I'm using my knuckles. Well, for me, it is my nail, so I will make some typos. But I'll put down typo, or I'll redo the whole thing and tell you. But I'm not somebody that's going to scam you. But look for those typos. And they request for personal information like your social security numbers or your bank details. Some people like to brag that they got a certain amount of money in the bank, or they open up a certain account with something, or they belong to certain unions, and uh, purchased their car, and they was able to get a house because they did this, they did that. You're giving them too much information. If that's something that you want to share with your friends, congratulations that you bought the car and that you got a new job and everything. But use old school. Call them on the phone. Let them know about your success that way. A friend may go on there and say congratulations about your success, but they don't have to mention what it was. Urgent request for information. Oh, I really need your social security number right now, because I got to put it in by midnight. Otherwise, you won't be able to get the prize and it'll be going away. I've heard that before. Suspicious links. Now, certain things may be spelled a certain way, so I'll say like my name, Black, BLAQUE. To some people, it may be suspicious because they'll say black is not spelled like that. Well, this black is not the color. That's my name. But you may see things that may be a little off like that. Check it out and request to verify accounts outside of the official platform. You can verify accounts. What you can do is you can connect with somebody or connect with maybe that company to find out if that's an official platform, like I did with the book company, the publishing company. I eventually went to the real place. I contacted them instead of them always contacting me from that number that they had. So I started going on the internet and looking it up. And what I found was that their information and their information was a duplicate. I'm saying I would have to be a professional to be able to tell what was the difference. You remember those games sometimes you see in the newspaper when we were reading newspapers where it would say that here's a picture of something and here's a picture of something. Can you spot what's different in this picture and what's different in this picture? There's 10 things different. How many of you only got through 4? Because you couldn't spot some of those other things. Well, that's what happens also when you're being scammed. There's something about this picture and this picture that they look exactly the same. But there was something in it that was different that my eyes just didn't catch. Scammers create fake profiles. They mimic real individuals or organizations to gain trust. And they ask for money or personal information. And what is so sad is that they use children, they use charities, and they say that I'm with this, that, and the other. I'll say ABC for lung cancer or for something with children. And you can help, and they'll show a picture of a child who's probably in a photo that you can get from one of the big stores. And they'll post it and say that that's their child, sick or dying or needs surgery or something like that. That's another red flag. It was poorly written profile, a lack of verification. And sometimes they have a lack of verification in badges that they send. They'll tell you that you are one of the top people who got a badge and this, that, and the other. The badges are fake. They really don't belong to any organization or company. So they're requesting money. They're saying that you have populated to be their number one fan. And you're feeling good because they're telling you you're number one. But what they're really doing is requesting money and sensitive information, because now that you're number one and you're a fan, so that you're thinking that, oh, we're cool, we're good, we're friends. I'm always on their page, they're always on mine. Well, they're always on yours for a reason, because they want that information. But there's one scam that just tickles me, and that's the family emergency scam. Someone in your family is ill. They'll tell you that they were injured or been in an accident, or the death or funeral of an immediate or extended family member, and they need the money for funeral costs. Let me ask you something. If that's the case, why are you just hearing about that family emergency when it comes to them dying all that time that they were sick? Nobody called you to tell you that Uncle so and so was sick, Aunt so and so passed away, and a family, and when I say the family knows about it. Not just one person calling you. Now on social media, you see people posting it, that this person passed away, that person passed away, and they need help, or they do that GoFundMe, which I think is a crime in itself for people to use GoFundMe. But people are going so far as posting a person's picture. And again, it could be the picture from one of those stores of saying that this is their relative. So they'll get somebody that may be from the same culture, I'll say, of them, and they'll go so far as making a flyer, and they're putting a date on there. And maybe they'll say like their grandmother, who was born in 1950, and she passed away on a certain day. And a lot of times they'll say a current date, and it's usually around a holiday or something like that. And that's when they start reeling you in, because you're starting to feel bad. And then they start to tell you that maybe it was a week before their birthday, or maybe that person just turned a certain age, and they're telling you where you can send money for the funeral. And it's not the funeral home, the flowers are not going there. And they usually say, in lieu of this, send that. Or she didn't want flowers. We really need the money to bury her or him and get a tombstone, or we need to buy them a suit or dress or whatever the case is, or to help with maybe the transportation of people to get there. So they have creative ways. And you'll see a flyer, and it's just as beautiful as can be. And it has all the fixings on there, where you'll see the date that they're going to celebrate. I don't want to say celebrate, but celebrate that person's life. And they'll say that a celebration in life. And they'll have a picture of them here and all the details all around it, and beautiful colors and things like that. And they're reeling you in. They're actually telling you that this. Some scammers who are supposed to be your family, and could very well be, look, scammers are related to someone, and unfortunately that someone may just be in your family. They even go so far as to tell you that they're stranded overseas, or they're stranded in another state. They lost their luggage, they lost their plane ticket, somebody lifted their wallet, everything. They'll come up with that, and that you're the only one who can help them. They will also insist that you keep the situation a secret from other family members, and that's preventing you from verifying the story. But the more serious one is when the scammer claims that your loved one has been kidnapped, and they demand ransom money. Although this can happen and it can be true, you should notify the authorities, even if they tell you not to call the authorities. So don't try to forego it by yourself. It could be dangerous, because in some cases it really could be that a family member was kidnapped, because you put so much information on your social media that indicates that you have money, or you come from money, or that you have it like that. So they figure, let's target this person. Either they're really going to kidnap that family member of yours because they see the picture. You're showing pictures of your kids. You're telling them that, oh, my little Johnny just graduated fifth grade at whatever elementary school. And they already know what state you're in. So how hard do you think it's going to be for them to see that picture that you have of Johnny. You posted a lot of information up there, plus your picture is there. How far do you think they'll go by trying to put themselves into a picture with you so they can get to your kid's school and say, Mom said to pick you up? And your kid may be hesitant because you taught them well, but now they're showing them a picture. You remember, I'm Uncle so and so. I was at the birthday party. Remember the birthday party that they had for Grandpa? Yeah, I'm your Uncle so and so. These scammers are clever and they're good. So be mindful because they could really be taking a relative of yours and really be asking for money. What about the cousin who needs bail money ASAP? Or they'll hit you up with, hey, Auntie, I lost my wallet. Can you send me $200? But guess what? Your niece that's supposed to be on the phone or your nephew, they're sitting right next to you. So that's not a, hey, Auntie, can you send me $200? Or that the cousin needs bail money. They have something that you can go on now to see if your cousin was really arrested. Or call your cousin's mother. She may know that her child was arrested. Or call another relative. They may know whether the person was arrested or not. Oh yeah, you need bail money. Where you at? Where they hold it? Come down and bail you out. And I say, oh no, 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 no. You're not gonna come all the way down here to do that. Just send the money. Or my dude is gonna pick it up. Or I'm gonna send my girl to pick it up. They go there because sometimes they have partners in crime. Yeah, they'll have somebody that will do it with them. Or they could really be your cousin saying, look, I know my cousin got some money. All we got to do is tell him or her that I'm in jail because we were tight growing up. Up and tell them that you're going to come by and pick up the money. Okay? And I'll give you X amount of money. And here you go, giving them the money. Because you believe that your cousin is in jail and they need the bail money out. But guess what? Verify the story. Don't be fooled by urgency. Be wary of requests for secret money transfers. There's nothing in the world that's that much of a secret where you can't tell family. If they are truly your family and you trust them in that way, what's the big secret? You're in jail, you've been arrested. You really need the bail money to get out. But why should it be a secret? Oh, I don't want my mother to know because it'll hurt her. Well, guess what? You shouldn't have did what you did to put yourself in. And I get it. Some people are arrested for things that they actually didn't do. But people are scammers. So be careful and be mindful. All right, fam. Before we wrap this up, I want you to remember one thing. Scammers are slick, but so are you. The more you know, the harder it is for them to run game on you. So stay sharp, stay alert, and don't let anybody rush you into anything that doesn't feel right. If you feel uncomfortable or you have to second guess something, then you know that it's probably a scam. Call a relative or call somebody. Somebody always knows something. And listen, there's no shame if you've ever been scammed before. It happens to the best of us. What matters is what you do next. Share your story like I'm sharing mine with you. Help someone else. Stay safe. And keep the conversation going. Talk about scams. Talk about frauds. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, and just to let you know, I got my money back. So keep your receipts, contact your bank and the local authorities because they will investigate to make sure that you're not trying to scam your bank because some people do that. But what happens is if they find out that it was a scam, they're going to take that money right back out of your account or you're going to probably have other problems. So don't try to scam your bank. For one, it's federal. And if you feel as though you look good in that orange jumpsuit, then go for it. This has been Basic Black After Dark with your girl, Black Diamond, where we meet you where you are and give you what you need. Join us on April 4th as I welcome my guest, Pat Johnson, along with her talented youth, the youth writers from Youth Writers Rock. You don't want to miss it. Until next time, stay safe, stay smart, and whatever you do, don't get got. Good night, everybody, and remember, be safe and pass this information along. It's recorded. You can let other people know. So this way, scammers won't get to you. You won't be scammed. It's not a good feeling, believe me, I know. Good night.